A 14-hour flight in economy isn't a seat, it's an endurance test. And the hard part isn't only that it's tight. Around hour 4, your back starts a quiet rebellion, your stomach starts puffing up, and time flips into slow motion. But because of price, timing, or whatever the airline decided to leave available, you still end up in that seat. So how do you keep it budget-friendly and make a long-haul flight feel way more manageable so you land with enough brain power to go straight to baggage claim instead of standing there like your phone just lost signal? In this long-haul survival guide, I'll show you what actually works, what to wear, what to avoid with food and drinks, how to set up sleep, and one tiny, easy-to-miss move that keeps you from rummaging, dropping stuff, and losing your mind for the next 14 hours. Alright, start with the thing that sets the tone from minute 1, what you wear and what you put on your feet, because this is where most people accidentally ruin their sleep. On a long-haul flight, what you wear isn't outfit, it's equipment. Because the cabin can't commit, hot while boarding, freezing once you're settled, then weirdly warm again when everyone's packed in, and the plane turns into a human terrarium. So think loose, breathable, and layered. Layers you can actually adjust without doing gymnastics in a narrow seat. Start with a thin base layer that handles sweat. The tank top only move sounds cute until you feel sticky halfway through. If you run warm or you pick up smells easily, make that first layer a light tee or thin long sleeve, then add a zip-up hoodie or jacket. And yes, the zipper matters because you can vent without pulling anything over your head, while your seatmate pretends they're deeply focused on the safety card. For bottoms, skip thick, stiff jeans if you can. I wore jeans on a long flight once and started paying for it by hour 3, mostly because of the waistband. So go soft with a little stretch, joggers, relaxed pants, nothing that bites your waist. Compression socks can be a game changer for swelling and that heavy leg feeling, especially if you barely move. You don't need the I'm training for Everest level, just a comfortable, moderate pair. If they leave deep marks or feel like they're squeezing the life out of you, size up. The goal is fresh legs, not tourniquet chic. Shoes should be closed-toe and easy slip-ons. Feet swell in the air, so tight gets miserable, but too loose turns into a whole production when you're trying to slide them back on. And if you like taking shoes off at your seat, clean socks. Please, this is not your living room. Also, don't load your pockets. Sitting on a phone or keys is uncomfortable, and it's how stuff disappears into the seat gap. Keep everything in one small pouch you can reach, seat pocket or underseat, so your body can actually relax. With the right outfit, you're already ahead of the game, but don't let your stomach ruin all that progress. Next up, the food and water habits that keep you comfortable for the full haul. If you only do one thing from this section, make it water. Long-haul flights dry you out fast, and that's when everything starts going sideways. Your head feels heavy, your stomach feels tight, and you're annoyed at problems that shouldn't be problems. So, here's the move. Bring an empty water bottle through security, fill it in the terminal, and sip steadily on the plane. Those tiny airline cups vanish in 2 seconds, and the cart always shows up at the worst time. If you're landing into a long day, toss in a single-serve electrolyte packet. Small, easy, and it helps your body bounce back quicker. But water alone isn't the whole game. Food can turn your stomach into your best teammate, or the loudest passenger on the plane. Travel day is not the moment to experiment with a mystery airport meal just because it looks exciting. Stick with what your body already knows. If your stomach is sensitive, familiar and boring is a power move. Also, ease up on super salty stuff. A lot of airport snacks are basically designed to make you thirsty, which means you spend the flight feeling off and you land feeling sluggish. And snacks aren't for fun. They're mood insurance. When meal service is slow or the timing makes no sense, a simple backup keeps you from getting trapped in that hungry, irritated spiral. Keep it easy. An energy bar, crackers, dried fruit, or trail mix. One small safety note. Be thoughtful with peanuts or mixed nuts. Some passengers have severe allergies. A sealed cabin is not the place to find that out the hard way. Now, if your stomach gets dramatic mid-flight, This is the easiest little safety net. A ginger kit. Ginger chews are small, travel well, and can calm things down fast. And when the drink cart comes around, ginger ale is a simple, familiar option that tends to settle your stomach without you overthinking it. Just keep one thing in mind: if you're trying to sleep, go easy on caffeine and alcohol. They can mess with your rest and leave you feeling worse later. When food and hydration are handled, the next problem is staying clean and avoiding that post-flight, I feel sticky and questionable vibe, without turning your seat into a chemistry lab. There's a moment on every long-haul flight where you think, I don't feel dirty, but I also don't feel clean. Like you've been lightly marinated in recycled air and mystery decisions. So, before you fully settle in, do a quick reset. One wipe, a few high-touch spots, done. You're not trying to disinfect an airplane. You're just lowering the chances that your hands immediately meet your snacks right after they meet everything. And here's the polite version of that reset. Go easy on strong scents. If you can, use wipes that aren't heavily fragranced and skip the heavy perfume cologne move. In a cabin, it spreads like gossip, and you never know who has asthma, migraines, or just a sensitive nose. Bring a tiny zip bag for the used wipes and little trash too. Otherwise, you end up holding a damp wipe like it's your newest travel companion. Then sanitizer, but with strategy. Think before you eat and after you touch shared stuff, not every 5 minutes like you're trying to erase your fingerprints. And if you're someone who touches your face without noticing, same. This is the easiest way to not accidentally make your own hands the delivery service. A mask is also a solid option to keep in your personal item, especially during boarding and crowded airport lines. You don't have to wear it the whole flight. It's just nice to have a choice when the person next to you is coughing like they're auditioning for a commercial. And don't overpack this part. Bring just 3 things: wipes, mints, or a toothbrush, and a clean shirt. That's it, enough to feel reborn right before you land. You're clean, you feel human again. Now comes the hard part. How do you actually sleep in a cramped seat? Sleep is the cheat code on a long flight. If you get even a few solid hours, everything feels easier. If you don't, the same seat feels smaller and the flight feels longer. Start by picking a lane. Are you trying to arrive functional or just pass time? If it's arrive functional, set your phone clock to your destination as soon as you board. It's a small mental switch, but it helps your brain stop arguing with itself about what time it really is. If you can choose, night flights make this easier. Shower, brush your teeth, comfy layers, and you're basically telling your body it's bedtime. Daytime long hauls can still work, but then you have to control light. Don't doom scroll for 2 hours and expect your brain to magically shut off. Swap to low stimulation stuff, a book, calm audio, or a guided meditation you download ahead of time. Seat choice matters more on long haul. Light sleeper? Avoid being near the lavatories or the galley if you can. Too much foot traffic and door noise. Aisle is great if you like getting up, but you'll get bumped by carts and people. The window gives you something to lean on and fewer interruptions, but you're climbing over neighbors if you pee a lot. No perfect seat, just pick the annoyance you can tolerate. For the sleep kit, think dark, quiet, and stable. A blackout eye mask with deep cups is huge if you hate fabric touching your eyelids. Earplugs or noise-canceling earbuds help, and earbuds usually sleep easier than big over-ear headphones. Neck pillows are personal. Some people love the wraparound turtle style. And if you hate pillows, some travelers use a soft travel neck support instead. The goal is simple: stop the bobblehead effect. Worried the crew will wake you up mid-sleep? Buckle your seatbelt over your jacket. If they can see it, they've got less reason to tap you to check. And one more move I see a lot of people use: staying up late the night before so they knock out on the plane. Sometimes it works, but if you struggle to sleep sitting up, don't gamble on it. Keep it mild, a little later than normal, not an all-nighter. Also, are you a window person or an aisle person on long haul, and why? I'm always curious what people prioritize: sleep, bathroom access, or just not being bumped all night. Next, let's make sure you don't get bored out of your mind. entertainment and backup plans for when the seatback screen betrays you. Ever hit that point on a long haul where you've watched 2 movies and then you look at the map and realize you're still basically nowhere? That's why I treat entertainment like carry-on essentials. Most long flights do have seatback screens, but I don't trust my mood to one touchscreen that can freeze, glitch, or have an audio jack that only works if you hold it at a sacred angle. So think in 3 buckets: watch, listen, and wind down. Before you leave, download a few things offline: some Netflix, a playlist, maybe an audiobook. And if you're a YouTube person, this is the perfect time to download a bunch of watch later videos so you're not burning time scrolling on airport Wi-Fi. But don't forget your audio, because the exact moment your headphones die mid-flight, you realize the engine hum is not a personality. Charge your Bluetooth earbuds and toss in a simple wired pair or a small adapter if your plane still uses the old school headphone jack for movies. It's cheap insurance for a very long flight. And here's something my friend Sophia learned the hard way. She put in-ear earbuds too early, before the cabin pressure fully settled, and her ears were not happy. Now she waits until we're cruising and everything feels stable, then she puts them in. Same earbuds, way better experience. If you're trying to wind down, keep it calming. A light ebook, a simple offline puzzle game, or a familiar podcast you've heard before. Something that doesn't spike your brain right when you're trying to sleep. Entertainment handled. Next, power, charging, and staying connected so you're not landing with 2% battery and 0 signal. There's a special kind of panic that only happens at arrivals. You're half asleep, you need directions, you need a ride share, you need to text someone, and your phone is politely informing you it has 2% left. And the sneaky part is, it's never just one device. Your phone is low, your earbuds are low, your laptop is low, and the plane's USB port is charging like it's on a coffee break. So here's the no drama setup. Pack the cables you actually use, plus a compact wall charger. Airports still have real outlets in plenty of places, and a proper charger is usually way faster than the random USB ports that may or may not work. If you want to be extra calm, charge everything the night before and board like you're not expecting anything from the aircraft. If the outlet at your seat works, great. If it doesn't, you're still fine. Power banks are the other big one, essential on long-haul days, but also the easiest way to get surprised at security. Keep them in your carry-on, not checked, and do a quick policy glance for your airline because limits vary by route and they're based on watt hours. Nobody wants their expensive battery taken away like it's a forbidden artifact. And if your airline is strict about using or charging power banks on board, just treat it like an emergency reserve. Use it when you need it, not as your full-time charging plan. One more small tech habit: a lot of travelers avoid public USB ports in airports for security reasons. If that's you, stick to wall outlets with your own charger, or carry a little charge-only adapter so you're not thinking about what that port is doing. And don't forget your internet plan for landing. After a 14-hour flight, the feeling of touching down and instantly having data to call an Uber or message whoever's picking you up is genuinely calming. If you use an eSIM, set it up before you fly so you're online the second you turn off airplane mode. Roaming plans can work too. The goal is simply not being jet-lagged. Searching for a SIM kiosk with 3% battery? Once tech stops being a problem, economy gets easier fast, and the next thing that changes the whole experience is bathroom timing and movement. Can we talk about the airplane bathroom line? Because it's never random. It's like the entire cabin shares one brain. If you want to dodge the aisle parade, there's one simple timing that works most of the time. Go right after meals, before everyone else stands up and remembers they also have a bladder. And if the line is already forming, wait 10 minutes, let the wave pass. And when your body sends the first, "Hey, maybe soon" signal, listen. Don't wait until it's urgent, because that's when turbulence hits, the lavs get locked, and you're stuck doing mental gymnastics in your seat. If you already know you have any gut or bladder sensitivity, listening early is the kindest thing you can do for your future. Now, do you know what makes people feel truly wrecked after a long haul? It's not just sleeping, it's sitting still for 10 plus hours. You don't need a workout, you just need little circulation moments. Every couple hours, stand up and walk for a minute if you can. If you can't, do quick seat moves, ankle circles, calf flexes, straighten one leg at a time, tiny motions, big payoff, less heavy legs, less stiffness, less why do I feel 80 when you stand up to deplane. And this part is personal. If you're in an aisle seat, use your advantage. Step out for a quick stretch when the row is quiet. If you're window seat, plan 1 or 2 breaks so you're not apologizing 6 times in one night. And if you're trying not to be that person, move when the cabin is calm. Dim lights, people sleeping, no carts in the aisle. And the last thing that makes long haul feel smooth is how you organize your stuff in the cabin. Because nothing ruins your peace faster than realizing the one thing you need is in the overhead bin 8 rows away. You know what's funny about long haul flights? The plane is full of people who all packed just in case. And then mid-flight, the one thing they actually need is buried in the overhead bin like it's in long-term storage. In economy, your underseat bag is your survival drawer. And this is where that tiny move I teased earlier pays off. The 1-pouch rule. Keep one small pouch inside your underseat bag with everything you'll actually reach for mid-flight. Phone, lip balm, meds, wipes, earbuds, maybe a snack. So you're not digging through compartments or playing overhead bin roulette while the aisle is packed. It's a simple hack, but it removes a surprising amount of stress on a 14-hour flight. Around that pouch, pack the basics you might need, but won't grab every 10 minutes. A power bank if allowed, an empty water bottle, and a thin layer like a scarf or light hoodie. Add one comfort item you know you'll use, eye mask, neck support, whatever helps you settle. And if there's any chance your carry-on gets gate checked, this underseat bag is also where your passport and electronics live. Nothing important should be stuck in a bag that might get taken from you at the gate. Now, fanny pack talk. I love the idea of keeping essentials on your body, but here's the reality. On a lot of flights, a fanny pack counts toward your carry-on limit. So if you already have a carry-on and a personal item, you may be asked to consolidate it before boarding. Pro tip, keep a little empty space in your bag so you can stash it fast. And in crowded airports, keep it low profile and zipped, save the hidden pouch for truly important stuff, and use the fanny pack for low stakes items. That's the system. Underseat for what you might need, overhead bin for what you won't. When your flight is 14 hours, reducing those little annoyances is how you make it feel shorter. And that's the whole long haul survival system. If you dress for the cabin mood swings, keep your stomach calm, get some real rest, and keep your essentials within reach, economy stops feeling like a punishment and starts feeling manageable. If this helped, hit like so, more tired travelers find it, and subscribe for more no-drama flight tips you can actually use. And if you want, tell me what your one must-have long-haul item, the thing you never fly without. I'm always stealing good ideas from the comments. Safe travels, and may your seatmate sleep through the whole flight.